Over the last year, ransomware has unfortunately been a threat we are becoming increasingly aware of and want to prevent, impacting every sector as attacks increase in frequency and sophistication all the time. Hello and welcome to VARINDIA News Hour. A report of Checkpoint Research says few small and medium-sized businesses realize they are just at risk, if not more so than larger enterprises. In fact, in 2022 alone, 61% of all cyber attacks were aimed at small businesses. The importance of SMBs in India cannot be ignored, where the Ministry of State for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises stated that MSMEs contributed to 35.98% of India's total manufacturing output in 2020-21, with MSMEs providing employment to about 111 million persons in India and contributing to approximately 50% of overall exports from the country. In fact, MSMEs account for 27% of India's GDP and serves as the backbone of the economy, according to a recent Assocham-Crisil report. Part of the appeal for these cyber attacks on SMBs is that SMBs retain a wealth of confidential information from medical records to bank accounts, all of which cybercriminals can either sell or hold for ransom. The initial cost of a ransomware attack can be crippling, not to mention the additional fines SMB companies may be subject to if confidentiality laws are breached. Adding to that, the loss of customer trust that many SMBs rely on to compete with larger companies, and you get a clearer picture of how devastating an attack can be. It is time to control the use of USB sticks and external hard drives. SMBs expect 40% of employees to continue working remotely for at least part of the week. Ensuring their security is managed correctly should be your highest priority. For example, we've all been tempted to transfer files between colleagues or organizations using an external memory stick or USB drive, but it only takes one unsecure device to compromise an entire network. When these sticks and drives are openly shared, it becomes increasingly difficult to track the files they contain. On top of this, how do you know who has used the device previously and where it has come from? Using endpoint protection tools, blocking access to physical ports, and only allowing the use of approved sticks or memory cards can all reduce the likelihood of a breach. Secondly, don't back up data to your main server. Often companies are lulled into a false sense of security because they have a backup somewhere, but in many cases, they are saved on the same server as all of their other data, meaning it will all become available during an attack. Instead, organizations should identify essential data that your business cannot function without and have a completely isolated off-site network backup, so when they are recovering from a ransomware attack, employees can access key files that allow them to continue with day-to-day operations. Ransomware is a growing problem and is showing no signs of slowing down. As a result, SMBs need to act now before an attack occurs. Your cybersecurity strategy isn't a one-off project, it needs to be agile so that it can adapt as the threat landscape changes. Let us now look into today's headlines in VARINDIA. Government to soon launch incentive scheme for IT hardware. Union Minister of State for Electronics and IT Rajiv Chandrasekhar said that the centre will soon launch an information technology server and IT hardware production linked incentive scheme. The government will also create additional incentives for those manufacturers and OEMs that include Indian-designed IP into their systems and products. The centre has announced a future design program that will design or co-design IP, tools or devices for the next generation of applications in India. Google claims CCI order would risk Android users' privacy. Google India has told the Supreme Court that the Competition Commission of India's order against it will sabotage Indian Android users' safety and privacy. It also said the Commission's other directions hurt public interest by increasing device prices for Indian users, harming app developers and thwarting competition. In its appeal challenging the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal's refusal to grant an interim stay, Google said the tribunal's rejection was unlawful, incorrect, and demonstrates non-application of mind. NirmalaSitharaman urges Indian diaspora to use Indian brands and services. While addressing the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Convention, Finance Minister NirmalaSitharaman has asked members of Indian communities that live overseas to use Indian brands and services as part of their role as the country's brand ambassadors on foreign soil and make efforts to collaborate with Indian businesses. The minister praised the Indian diaspora and said the community has emerged as an exemplar by making contributions where they live while holding on to their roots. RBI gives in-principle approval to Hitachi for payment aggregators license. Payment service provider Hitachi Payment Services has received the in-principle authorization from the Reserve Bank of India to act as a payment aggregator. With the payment aggregator license, Hitachi Payments will further augment its digital solution stack with various online payment solutions such as UPI, net banking, cards and wallets. The license will enable its B2B customers to provide all digital payment products along with value-added services to their merchants, allowing them to offer one-stop digital payment services. Retail CBDC users likely to hit 50,000 by month end. The central bank digital currency is accelerating at a rapid pace, with the number of retail users expected to touch 50,000 at the end of this month. The Reserve Bank of India launched a pilot project for CBDCR in December last year. It is reported that since the launch of the pilot, around 16,000 users conducted transactions worth approximately Rs 64 lakh. The pilot on digital rupee wholesale was launched in November with the current average daily transaction of Rs 200 crores. That's all for now. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to VARINDIA News Magazine. You can download the VARINDIA app from Google Play Store and Apple App Store for the latest news and updates. Stay tuned. Thank you.